I've launched something maybe some of you guys have seen. I've launched a site called Cinderella Wine. You know, this is adjusting to the marketplace. Premium wine is hurting. You know, in an economy like this, you're not running out to buy a $95 bottle of Barolo. So wineries are sitting with wine. So we've created a one-a-day kind of loop.com, if you know what that is, or the Guilt Group, if you know any of these sites. We sell one wine a day on CinderellaWine.com at a ridiculous price. And it sells out like ours. So like, you know, oh, it's good. Like we sold, yeah, this is a good one. I mean, this is one of the, we built this as a double play. A thank you to our customers, flat out. Thank you. And we feel like over time we can become profitable. So, you know, it's been amazing. I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, it's so great because customers are losing their mind. They're thankful. So I wanted to do that because, again, put it in my hands. I know knock it out of the park. So I tasted a lot of wine. I made a lot of deals. I came up with the whole concept of Cinderella wine, the way it works. And it's been great. I mean, you know, it's very hard for people not to get excited when every store in the country sells a wine for $90 and you're selling it for $35. And that's how staggering some of the deals are. We sold one Barolo that was $280 on every site, and we sold it for $89. So like things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's funny. I can't totally walk away from it though, which has been fun. You know, I can, but I still love looking at the numbers. And you know, 2007, if you're a wine drinker, 2007, Chateauneuf du Pape, if you like Rhone wines, is massively special. So right now there's enormous hype and blah. And I'm picking up the phone and calling some old contacts trying to make things happen. But yeah, the retail store runs itself, which is where you want to be as an entrepreneur. Yes?
I have a two-part question. I'm a psychologist, and so I'm trying to think how I can get myself online, you know, what to do with it. And then number two is what drives you? So what, like when the going gets tough, what keeps you going? I mean, how do you keep the consistency and the energy going?
So I'll answer that first.
Sure.
What drives me is gratitude. I'm grateful. You know, I'm massively grateful. I just don't know how to complain for all the luck I've been given. I was born in a really bad place where my DNA would have ended up in jail, dead, or I would be one of those crazy billionaires, right? I have amazingly loving parents. I have a mother that is, you could tie me for the best mom in the world, but you can't beat me. You know, I have an amazing wife, great family all around, married into a great family. I'm so grateful. You know, I've had an amazing run family-wise in health. Unfortunately, I lost most of my grandparents before I was born. But it's been a long, long, long run of good health. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the health, first and foremost. And then after that, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I know I have a shot. There's the people that have had way more difficult beginnings than me, and there's people that have had way easier runs. I don't really worry about that. I know that I have the DNA to compete with anybody, and I appreciate that. I really, you know, my brother and sister bust my chop all the time. They're like, you were the firstborn, and you flat out picked all the good shit. You took all the good stuff from mom and dad. Why didn't you leave some for us? So gratitude. You know, when I get down, or when I'm worried, or anything like that, it's very easy for me. I do the same thing. It's not super pretty picture. I'm sorry to paint it, but I really go into I got a phone call and somebody I love died. That's it. And it's really usually about a 30-second to 5-minute feeling. And I'm out. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm very in tune with my feelings. And I know what I would feel like if I bought the Jets. I can feel it right now. I can feel myself buying the Jets, being on the front page of Time magazine, and it says, if that's even around anymore, probably not. and it says, he did it. I did it, right? I'm so convinced how much. I mean, there are thousands, tens of thousands of people that know that I'm going for this, and soon there'll be millions because I know what I'm doing. Like, I can feel it, and I still know what I feel like that day if somebody in my family is hurt, and I don't care. So if I don't care for my ultimate business financial goal, then why would I not live my life that way? So that's what I do. I'm driven by gratitude. Now, as far for you, it's complicated a little bit, right? Because, you know, it's tough to get clients to be willing to have you videotape them in sessions. You know, but what I would do is I would do a show, and I would talk in general terms. I think lawyers, I've pushed a lot of lawyers, I think a lot of lawyers have big upside, because celebrity lawyers is a thing this society already accepts. Not as, you know, obviously besides Dr. Phil, I guess there's really not that much in your space, but I think if you did case studies, because I'm sure most people, by majority, most people fall in certain buckets, right?
Absolutely.
Like, so episode 1 could be like, your mom didn't love you enough. Let's go. And so I think that I would do that. I would flat out do that. I would. I feel that if you were good and you did the hard part. See, everybody thinks the content's the hard part. Wine Library TV won because I spent 30 minutes a day taping the show. It was the other 15 hours a day that I spent being in the trenches in wine forums and wine blogs. And now you can be using Twitter and Facebook to do this. I didn't even have that back then. That's what made Wine Library TV work. Content is king, and I'm sure many of you have heard that, but marketing is the queen, and she runs the household.
One more question.
Yes?
How do you become a big success online if your personality is introverted?
So pumped you asked
You
that.
don't want to be a a celebrity.
Yeah. So you execute against your, so I really, in a lot of ways, and I'm wondering, I mean, it's so, when I say it now, everybody's like, no, because it's been successful and it's a great term and everybody likes it. I wanted to call this book Brand DNA. I didn't want to call it Crush It. I wanted to call it Brand DNA because that's what I'm more passionate about instead of crush it and go do it. I want people to execute who they are. See, everybody does this. You've got this huge grapefruit here, fat, big, 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 and you've got this shriveled up orange over here, and by DNA and by personality and just the way it is, most people are trying to squeeze juice out of here. Everybody's working on what they're not good at instead of executing on what they're good at. And what I want people to do is squeeze more out of this. Some of the most successful people on the internet are introverts. Michael Arrington, who runs TechCrunch, is far from looking to shake everybody's hand and take pictures. I think if you embrace who you are, and I'm just one path. Nobody does it the way I do. Even the most extroverted people are making fun of me. I'm at South by Southwest after my keynote, 4.5 hours after I gave the keynote taking pictures. I mean, that's not for everybody. But it is for me because I really love people. I want it. I want it just as much as they want. I like it. Listen, my dad is a massive introvert, so I get it. Not only from that standpoint, but from, you need to find, so obviously written word often falls into a better play for that person. And you're not going to go do events and keynotes all the time. You're going to do what's best for you, which is pumping out content. And, I still feel that even the most introverted people I've seen have the ability to engage through the written word. People are a little bit more extroverted behind a computer screen anyway, in general. It's a little bit of a block, too. So I think it's important to not, it's so imperative to not say, well, that's the way he did it, I want to do it that way. Because that's not people's personalities. Just own your personality through and through, and, and you win. And that's why it's imperative to really love what you're doing, because then you're really relying on your content more than I am. And so, it's an important part. But it's very doable. TechCrunch is the second biggest blog on the internet. The guy's an introvert in a lot of ways.